A great evening to you and welcome to Rwanda Television News. My name is Sam Kalisa.
And my name is Martina Vera.
How are you doing, Martina?
I'm very good. How are you today?
Very, very great.
Okay.
Yes, so as we begin this edition of the news, let us inform you that on a Thursday at Village Rugiro, President Paul Kagame chaired a cabinet meeting to discuss national development policies as the new fiscal year 2023-2024 gets underway.
The First Lady of Rwanda, Her Excellency Jeannette Kagame, has called for collective efforts towards activities meant to improve the living standards of citizens on the African continent. This was during the annual meeting of the Seagull Family Foundation that happened on Thursday, Kigali, Rwanda. Shina Teta with more.
So being a victim of gender-based violence, of teenage pregnancy.
From Tanzania, Jackie Bomboma became an orphan before the age of 5, and when she turned 16 years old, she was raped, resulting into pregnancy. Jackie says from then, she initiated the Young Mothers Foundation that takes care of early and young mothers and conducts activities against violence.
For me, I lost my parents when I was young, both of them, and then no one wanted to take care of me on both sides. So I walked through the journey of being orphan, street child, a teenage mother with a child, and then housemaid. So during this process is when I came to see the gap that these girls who are facing these challenges to various opportunities. So that is what pushed me to start Young Mothers Foundation. My daughter right now, I got her when I was 16, but now she's 21.
Just like Jackie, individuals with citizen-centered foundations express that education is crucial and appreciate the support they are given by the Seagull Family Foundation.
Today, as I'm standing here, behind me, all this that you are seeing is the result of what the refugees that we have been supporting have been doing. So it's a positive impact for the community they live in, the Rwandan community that hosted them, but also for their community as the refugees, because you can see behind us, that they are capable of doing something, and something beautiful that can contribute to the development of the country.
The organization, we have strategized, we have come up with programs to address all those problems that we face in the community. We have a nursing school and a nursing training program that trains both certificates and diploma levels, and these students can actually come from anywhere in Africa. It's the same structure. We have a community referral program. We have a medical clinic that is on site, and we have both a static one that gives subsidized services for both curative and preventive services.
The First Lady of Rwanda, Her Excellency Jeannette Kagame, hailed Seagull Family Foundation's role in helping its members achieve their goals. She affirmed that what were just thoughts turned to be beneficial to people in different aspects.
We've understood and matched Imbuto Foundation's vow to place its own brick in the building of a transformed nation. What a path we have jointly trailed and walked. Together, we have challenged each other, as I believe all strong partners must. Together, we have crafted a shared, possibly unique role in empowering community-based organizations to drive the change they desire and deserve. Together, we have opposed the flawed notion that Africa must remain on the receiving end of aid rather than Africa supporting itself, nurturing itself, and developing itself. And their presence indicates how much our investment yields sustainable gains.
The executive director of the Seagull Family Foundation appreciates the cooperation of different partners that continue to support the improvement of the citizens' living standards.
We have an expansive vision at the foundation. We want to build and help author the most influential development network in Africa, placing local visionaries at the helm of that agenda so that together we can reap powerful change on the continent. This is what we mean when we have this lofty statement, transforming how change happens in Africa. That means what's in this room, right? From well-intentioned and well-resourced Western funders to forward-looking governments. Inspire one another to return to our communities re-energized and resilient.
The Seagull Family Foundation currently is in cooperation with 50% of the foundations that aim at the betterment of citizens' living standards operating in Rwanda. This year's Sego Family Foundation meeting attracted individuals from 37 countries all around the world. The Sego Family Foundation was initiated in 2007 to provide opportunities and resources to people in African rural areas, allowing them to transform their lives as well as their communities. Shina Teta, RTV News.
Thank you, Shinda, for the report. Moving ahead to a matter that has been a center of public debate, lawmakers and psychologists point out that the increase in DNA paternity tests is a big spike in the distortion of families.
The topic of DNA paternity test has lately been the center of public debate as there has been a steady and significant increase in the number of paternity tests. As of 2022/2023, more than 700 DNA tests were conducted. I think it's a good thing because having a child that you know 100% is yours will be lovelier than doubting if the child is yours. That's why DNA test came for.
As long as you treat the child as your own and you have raised the child, even if the DNA result comes out and you find out that the child is not yours, you have to raise that child. You should keep loving them. As they say, the child is for the country and not yours alone.
I understand that a man and a woman that lives together trust each other and they don't need to use the DNA test. But if someone gave birth outside their marriage and sometimes they deny the pregnancy, it is necessary to get a DNA test so the child can have a father and the father can as well accept their child with proof. Lawyers Muramira Innocent and Ingabire Marie-Claire explains what the law depicts about the cases where people who have the problem based on the evidence that one of those considered parents might not be the real parent.
DNA is good, but it has more far-reaching negative consequences to the family. Because the moment you find the child is not yours, and yet the law provides that you have a right and obligation to take care of your child, even children, provide school fees, health care, housing, clothes, and ABCD. That's what the law says. You have to provide all those things. So long as the law says a child is that person who is 18 years and below. However, if someone is still in school, and it can go as long as 21 years. But the fact one finds that the child is not his, and one has determined it from day one can stop taking care of that child. But then there are people who are soft-hearted, who can say, yes, I love my children, I got to know this child as mine, I can continue taking care of that child.
Urumva bishobora gutuma atanga ikirego cya gatanya, divorce.
You feel that it can make a person file a lawsuit. When he separates from the spouse, you feel that the family is in a turmoil. The consequence for the child is very serious because the child will suffer from a wound that cannot be healed easily. This also affects the mental health of both men and women more, cause even more damage to the children, according to Uwase Claudine, a psychologist.
Iyo DNA irakozwe basanze umwana ntago ari uwe.
When the DNA is done, they find out the child is not his. Then it becomes very bad when the child grows up to be an orphan or a teenager who doesn't know his origin. Sometimes even the mother does not know who the father of the child is or doesn't want to tell them immediately. The child immediately wonders who they are or what their origin is, which means a lot of shaping their personality. In the end, the child grows up with an embarrassment resulting into mental illness.
Ingaruka ziba uko bigenda bikura bishobora bijyana ku burwayi bwo mu mutwe.
The statistics of Rwanda Forensic Laboratory show that those who seek DNA paternity tests were 168 in 2018/2019. The number has since increased to 780 in 2022/2023. Jessica Agasaro, RTV News.
Thank you, Jessica, for that story. Now, Now, the Committee on Political Affairs and Governance in the Senate of Rwanda urged the local administration to stress on solving citizens' issues. This is after the senators in this committee visited different parts of the country and found that some of the local leaders do not attentively solve residents' issues, hence affecting their development. Prince Manzi with more.
Around noon, some of the citizens of the Kanyanya sector in Nyarugenge district are waiting for the administrators who are still in lunch. Some of them say that they expect to get positive solutions to their issues, and others say that they have been waiting for responses for a while.
I want
to register my child and I'm requested to come with my wife, and we divorced illegally, but they're insisting that I bring her. I am not happy with how they do not inform us on where they are going and when they will be back. The administration of the Kanyanya sector say that they are ready to efficiently serve their citizens, but also have challenges including lack of enough employees, especially at the cell level. The chairperson of the Committee on Political Affairs and Governance in the Senate, Senator Lambert Dushimimana, states that something has to be done in service delivery in local administrations.
There
are citizens' assemblies where issues of citizens are solved with their part in it. But we found that in most cases, they are only informed of the government's plans and acquire only like 2 questions at the end of the assembly. Sometimes these leaders do not attentively take care of the issues of citizens. This committee reveals that it will have a discussion with various institutions, including the Ministry of Local Government, for addressing this issue. Prince Manzi, RwandaTV News.
Thank you, Prince, for that report. As we move ahead, the Ministry of Health points out that although the number of maternal deaths has decreased since the year 2000, efforts are still needed to further reduce this number in order to achieve the country's goals. This was reiterated at the Ingobi Closeout and Celebration event, a project that has contributed to the reduction of maternal and infant mortality rates in the past 5 years. Olive Nete has the detailed report.
The project aimed to increase the utilization of reproductive, maternal, newborn and child health and malaria prevention and treatment services to sustainably reduce the incidence of maternal and infant mortality rate. Hakarutimana Didas, a community health worker in Ngoma district, says that this has increased their knowledge and that the number of people who seek their services has increased.
We no longer struggle in our daily duties because they also assist us through the e-learning program. Another support that they provided is the part they included of mentorship. Each month, we receive nurses from health facilities to mentor us during our duties, and they help us to improve what we do. This also pleased residents because they see improvement in the services we currently deliver, different from how it was before.
Since the project started, more than 11,000 health workers, including doctors, nurses and midwives, and more than 20,000 community health workers were trained to strengthen their capacity to deliver quality health care. Dr. Samson Rodeni, the chief of party for the USAID-funded Ingobi activity in Rwanda, points out that the shortage of workforce in the health sector and lack of some needed equipment is still an issue, and that these are some key factors to reduce maternal and infant mortality rate.
Some of the key challenges, and this is very common to the health sector, and not only in Rwanda, it's across the board, really having sufficient workforce. That is really one of the most important interventions if we want to accelerate reduction in maternal mortality. The other challenge, of course, is what we see in our facilities regarding the shortage of essential medical equipment. That again is not unique to Rwanda, not unique to our health facilities. There are many other health countries struggling with this. Medical equipment is expensive. Sometimes they break down, and sometimes it's difficult to actually maintain them because sometimes spare parts are not even available in the country. So you may have that you have an equipment that is life-saving, that is required for saving lives, but you may be having it, but it is not functioning because it needs to be maintained.
Statistics from the Ministry of Health shows that in the year of 2000, maternal deaths were 1,071 out of 100,000 live births. In 2020, these deaths decreased to 203 out of 100,000 live births, and the infant mortality of children under 5 years decreased from 196 per 1,000 children to 45 from 2000 to 2020. Hassan Siwamana, the acting division manager of maternal, child and community health at the Rwanda Biomedical Center, points out that although the number of maternal and child deaths has decreased to a satisfactory level, there is still much to be done.
So we have been able to increase the number of equipment, high-tech equipment in those hospitals and the health centers, but also training of our staff. If you look at the skills now, the skills in hand of those staff, so actually we can say that we have the basics of building on to make sure that actually we can continue to reduce maternal and child mortality, even though we are still referring to DHS. So we are waiting a new DHS coming this 2025. But we think that actually we will have a very good result. But of course, we are always monitoring what is happening in hospitals.
In 5 years, Ingobyi contributed to reduce neonatal case fatality rate from 10% to 6.5%, institution maternal deaths from 177 to 59, and reduced prematurity case fatality rate from 17.8% to 11.9%. Malaria in pregnancy cases reduced from 18,238 to 912, a 90% reduction. Olive Nete, RTV News.
Thank you, Olive, for that report. Now, the Rwanda Housing Authority announced the relocation of Remera Health Center that is currently near Amahoro Stadium, as patients are bothered by the continuation of the renovation activities conducted onto the stadium. Samili Uwase has more.
Renovating Amahoro Stadium, located in Remera, is underway. The noise generated by heavy machinery and other construction activities bothers the nearby citizen. These activities are done near Remera Health Center. People seeking healthcare services in this health center claim that the noise generated by the construction activities hinders service delivery. Sometimes the noise is too much and it disturbs us as patients. Sometimes you feel dizzy and you immediately sit where you are.
Patients need a calm place where they feel safe, unbothered or unstressed. It can be good for people if they reduce the noise or find some specific hours to do those activities of renovating the stadium.
In addition to patients, renovation activities hinder service delivery, as the administration as well as the staff of the health center claim. They say that at the time of consulting a patient, communication is not smooth due to the noise.
Activities of renovating we are doing here, things are not going well due to noise that is reaching us because it affects patients' communication with their healthcare giver. Some do not even remember that we have a healthcare here. They go for other places.
The director of Remera Health Center, Batamugira Leonidas, says that they are waiting for a response to this as it has been reported to relevant authorities.
You see that the walls are connected. Whenever they start working, it reaches us and affects patients' wellness.
Apart from the Remera Health Center, the Rwanda Medical Supply Limited Pharmacy and other facilities are located in the area. The acting director general of the Rwanda Housing Authority, Noel Nsanzineza, states that the Remera Center will be relocated in 1 month period.
In the budget, the program of renovating the Amahoro Stadium, some facilities will be relocated, including the Remera Health Center. We have even planned where it will be relocated to, and we are now preparing patients' rooms, and it will be completed on the 5th August. After this date, the health center will be relocated.
Activities of renovating Amahoro Stadium resulted into removal of 2 commercial buildings as they were compensated. Samili Uwase, RTV News.
Investors in the Western Province appreciate the government's initiative of introducing the manufacture and building the recovery program, and as investors they are ready to make it productive through activities supporting the development of industries and projects of agriculture and construction in the area. Prince Mazi reports.
After COVID-19, the government introduced the Manufacture and Build to Recover program to support entrepreneurs. Investors in the Western Province say that they are ready to use it efficiently for the economic development of the country through supporting the agriculture, industries and construction sectors. For instance, like us assembling parts of the electric cars, is our main project because this is an opportunity to us from the government. The Western Province has only 5 projects in 100 projects presented in this program across the country. The Division Manager, Investment Promotion and Export Marketing at the Rwanda Development Board, Philip Lucky, states that the government introduced this program with the aim of promoting local-made products and job creation. We want people to take advantage of the Manufacture and Build to Recover program for the increase of investment as well as supporting their projects. The governor of the Western Province, Francois Habitegeko, urged investors in this province to invest in fast productive projects, especially in the agriculture sector.
turacyafite amahirwe ari ayo kongerera ubushobozi inganda z'ibyayi zihari.
We still have opportunities including supporting tea factories, making productive the Lake Kivu. We need investment in increasing milk production. We need to invest in animal distribution. There are various available opportunities.
mu kubona amatungo twohereza ku isoko, dufite isoko rinini cyane. Hari amahirwe menshi mu by'ukuri ahari.
$350 million were invested in the Manufacture and Build to Recover program, and until 2024, it is expected to create 37,000 jobs. Prince Manzi, RwandaTV News.
There you go. On behalf of the entire news production as well as the technical team, many thanks for being with us on this edition of Rwanda Television News. And I'll say up until next time.
Stay safe.
And have a great evening.